Let me have my little light here. Yeah, my other light on. Yeah, that should be good. Good morning. It's funny, just looking at the pre-market, I was kind of hoping that the pre-market was going to be down a little bit still because y'all know that on Friday I was talking about how we're likely to go back up, right, from that bounce, which we did, and so we're still continuing up. I'm not sure if we'll hold it, but let's just take a look real quick. So as y'all know, I did not trade Friday. I was moving, but when we talked about it, we talked about that the 430, like 431.27, somewhere in this range. 432 is just such strong support, right? Well, we actually wicked down to that 431. And then we came back up, we tested again, kind of creating that double bottom. We came up, that's the double bottom retest, right? And then this is really what it did all day Friday, is it just kind of slowly worked its way down. Now, if you were trading this, it could have been a good trading day if I traded it, because y'all know in the room, I mean, these patterns are nothing new that we trade regularly. So, you have your double bottom, you have your retest of that neckline. So that's a pretty gimme call. You got your double top with a short call, played it perfect. Got your long call, played that perfect. We did create, if you look here, without even doing it, I can kind of draw. You can take this line here and pull it up like that, and I mean that gives you just such a easy line to read, right? Now, if you look at this right here, right, this is our 200 on the 2 minute, and you can tell that this trend line right here was able to squeeze it. And then now I have it on regular hours, but you can see the aftermarket is pumping. So let's turn it to extended, just see what it did after that in the after hours. So it looks like it did pump off the trend line, and then it kind of broke down here. Now, you can see on the extended hours, you have the 200 that were above, right? So it looks like it, continued to hold that as support and then cause that explosion. We do have this trend line here, which I believe is just a pullback from one of the ones up here. Might have moved this. We'll check. Let's take a look at the 1 hour. Let's see if that line got moved. Let's see. I don't know that I would call it move, but it could be a little higher. Let's pull it up right about there, and then we'll lock it. And I would lock it right about there. And let's lock this. So the reason why I'm doing this one is you have support here on the SPY around that 439, and then we have support here, and then we had support here, right? So that's what the channel, that we had drawn out. So we did break this channel, and now we have reclaimed this channel, right? And so, the where we go from here, this is the interesting part, right? Because this is what I talked about. When we hit this 431, we could see some form of reversal pattern. You do have your shoulder, head, shoulder right here. We could come back down to about 437.23, retest, somewhat around this neckline, and then have a pretty explosive push north to like 443.95. So that's a little bit of what I see more so happening. We are above the 21 SMA, so this could take a little bit and then retest here before it comes up to create that. Now, the only kind of caveat that I see that I'd want to see break is you do have this potential here. Let me delete some of these other ones. Come on. All right, we're going to keep that one though. All right, and then I would draw this like this. We can kind of shrink that up a little bit. And so we're very kind of bear flaggish in this. I do have this candle down here, so let's just pull it off that one there. But you can see we had our fall and then we got our parallel going on, right? So this could potentially come down, hit this, retest back up, reclaiming this whole side, and then finding resistance, in this area or at 443. 80, and then which would be somewhere over here tomorrow, before we have our breakdown again. So that's kind of what I'm watching for in the SPY. As far as the high that I see us getting back to, I mean, now that we're above the 21, I mean, our first level of resistance is gonna be like 441.51, and then pretty much 443.90 from there. So as far as support, we obviously can come down and retest 432.99. Now, I still believe that we're going to hit this 431 range. We didn't hit it. We were like right there. So this could be a potential, bear flag kind of situation going on, that's going to come up and then crash back down like that. So come Wednesday, Thursday, right, we could be back down here. So this would be the range that I'd play, that 431 to 443 for now. And until this one flips, right, we want to just assume that we're at the top of the range there. So as far as RSI goes, we are green, but we are in the middle, so it could go up, could go down. This called it perfectly. We did get that green call there. You got a little bit of a green here. But the only caveat on that I would have said is, right, we have our 21 SMA and we're staying below it. And so that's the difference. Whereas here, like, you may not have taken it right there, but when you do flip green and it does come up like this and it retests and holds that 21, that's when you'd want to take that. So that's kind of the play on that. So it's really where I see, the SPY. I mean, if you zoom out, like I said, when in doubt, zoom out. That's what I always tell everybody. Let's mute the Harmonic Tracker Pro. So if you mute that, like I said, we have this pump created that push north. We had the round, kind of created the head. We talked about the head creating way back here. Came down, we created the neckline. Now the neckline doesn't have to be perfect, keep in mind, right? For us to create that second shoulder. And so for us to create this second shoulder, ideally we'd want to get to 443, but we don't have to get to 443 because remember, this shoulder could be lower, right? So if we don't break that, if we don't flip this 443 and invalidate this, then we're just working our way back down to here, which is gonna be like 419 or so, probably by could be as soon as next Monday, Tuesday. But again, I'd want to see this get invalidated. How do we invalidate it? We flip 444 as support. So once this gets flipped up, holds as support, right? Comes back up to 448, holds as support, then it's going to test this line up here. So we'll assess that as we go through the days here. But, just keep in mind, we still do have all this crazy bullish divergence that has not played out. So I'm not going to say I won't take puts today because as we get close to this range, it's not a bad put option. But I definitely will be leaning more towards calls. I didn't check the news. Let's take a look at the news. Yeah, look, I mean, today. Bowman. You got existing home sales. Let's take a look. I always like to Monday just kind of flip through and see what we got for the week here. New home sales, crude oil inventories, your standard market movers. Core durable goods, that's going to be good. Jobless claims. But look at how close the projection is. So if it's anywhere near this, it's not going to do much. It's priced in. Now, if it's way off of that, right, that's when the markets will move because it didn't have a chance to price that in. And then the old Fed Chair Powell speaking. So 10:05, that's going to be big. So, okay, so Friday. So we want to watch out for Friday. Friday's going to be a good one. Let's take a look at a few of the actual stocks here. So we had Apple. We talked about this level here holding for some time. It did before it collapsed down right here, right, with the news about all the other stuff. And so we did collapse that 177 line. That's what caused that fall to 171. next level of support I had was in this area here around 171 right there, and so it hit pretty close. Not only what we called from this prior level, but we also called it because of our zone tracker and Harmonic Tracker Pro. So it was a good call by that. Let's unmute the harmonic and see where we're at. Oh, we just got a long actually for Apple. Yeah, so you might be able to ride some calls. Probably, I'd say around 179, 180. I would trail that sucker pretty tight if you're gonna take that. But it called the put. Now it looks like it's calling a call, which off that support level might not be a bad play. Might not be a bad play. Where, let's see, if it breaks 170 or so, that's where it's going to get interesting, because 162 is the next, larger level of support. But you can see here, this was heavy prior resistance right where we're at right now. So if this can flip back above 176.15, that's where I would look to take that call, because then it reclaim that support area back here. But until then, I just be careful, right? Because this could be, remember we talked about the other side, right? And so we had our push, we had about some spread there equal to around that length. We fell down here, which we did here, and then we have these little fake pushes, right, before a further descent. So just be careful if you're going to take that call. 179, 180 or so, I'd say would be a good little scalp. And then if you see it flip this 200, right, then it's going to run to 187. So that'll be a pretty wild run. Let's take a look at Google. So Google did break our pattern that we were holding here. And currently I would just watch this 21 on the 1 hour. And so if we stay below this 21 and it squeezes it into this 126 support, then that's I would stay on the put side. But I would not take any calls until you flip this 200 around 129.20 on Google. If you can flip this, get back into this pattern, then you got a nice little call scalp you could take. Aside from that, I would just stay put and just be careful. But even with your puts, be really careful, because if you look here, right, you have heavy support right there. So, yeah. So I would say anything below 127, right, candle close, not these wicks, right, candle close of the bears are winning, right, that'd be your clear for your put. Anything above this 21 SMA to 128 or so, you could take a nice little call scalp. Anything above 129, I would definitely take a call. I can see TikTok now, guys, so you guys can call them out. Otherwise, I'm just going to see ones that I see that are interesting otherwise. So Microsoft, one thing that stands out to me is similar to Tesla. See how you got this very, this is on the downside of it. We broke this trend line, came up, what was once support, acted as resistance, bam, down it goes. We have further down we could go with Microsoft. It looks like the support was found at the prior resistance area, plus this support area here. I would suspect it'll probably bounce up a little bit more, maybe 321, and then possibly a rejection from there. Thing I would look for, if you want to truly know if this is your bottom, being it's Monday, you got some time, right? You can go to the daily. Just really look for something that gives you a reason to stay in it, right? So this peak to this peak is only going to put you to there, right? There's really not, even if you took here to here, it's still the same thing, right? So if that's the bottom line that we're going off of, right? That's pretty low. So I would say on the daily, I would go off the 200 is what I would do, which is around 299. Would be what I would take. And you can see the 21 got flipped here. We did lose that trend line like we talked about. So we're kind of in the middle, because we could go as low as 299 and we could pump back up as high as 329. So be really careful on Microsoft with your calls and puts. I would play your range and just trust your indicators. So Amazon, Amazon looks a little bit different to me because, like we talked about, we want to find some kind of commonality of like a trend line, right? And so you can see this is what stood out to me right away is we have a support all through here, support all through here, support all through here, a couple wicks below, right? But ultimately support. And then look where we actually found support right here too. So this would be the line to watch for me. If I want to take a put or a call, I would watch this line. If you're above this line, I would stay call. If you're below this line here, I would stay put on that. That's for Amazon. Tesla. I'm trying to do a little bit more of these today just because it is Monday. So Tesla ended up coming down to that 217 range. It actually got a little lower, 213 right here. It just hit this wick right there almost perfectly before bouncing. If it can, maintain and hold 217, I don't see any reason we can't see some more upside for Tesla. So that's the number I would watch right there, guys. If you stay above 217, 218, I would stay call. If you flip that 217 and 218 and you hold that as a resistance, I would get ready because now this has become resistance again, and you're going to see that real far drop. So 217.78 would be the number to watch on that one. Let's jump over to the dollar. Let's see. Yep, look at it, still holding the arrow we put on Friday. So I'm anticipating that this line is going to hold. It's going to probably break this 200 as it comes up. I mean, you're already starting to, you got the divergence here. We're just going to get a squeeze, right? Coming up here soon. So I think that's where that little push north will come in the markets. Bitcoin. So Bitcoin kind of held through the weekend. You can see this was the fall 25.1. We haven't quite retested that yet. We did get to 25.6. I'm just looking here. I don't know. I don't really see any weakness or strength. It's not, you can argue, you got your low, your higher low, your higher low, your higher low, right? I mean, if that continues, right, and we flip this 21 on the 1 hour, which we'd have to flip and hold above, 26.2, then we could see a push up to the 200, which is 27.378. Yeah, because you can see in here, I mean, just tons of support through this level. So if it can reclaim this as support, then I would see kind of like a fall like this, boom, 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 and then a push north like that. In order for me to see like a really good crash kind of fall, I would need to see, I'd take something as simple as like this lower wick here, and I'd pull it up to this lower wick there. If I see this break right here, right, then we're coming back down for that retest for sure. But as long as it holds, we could hold for support. I still believe this lower trend line is going to come into play. For those who don't know or haven't followed this trend line that I've been following forever, it's this one. So the wick, you got all this support in here before it exploded, and we have not tested it yet. So I think that we're going to test this. I think once we do test this, you should have limit buys in here. I think that we're going to retest this, and it's going to pop like crazy because if you go to the daily, right, see how you have resistance here. So your resistance level, like that, we'll just put it right. So the resistance level for the 2017 bull market back here, I think it was marked Sunday, December 17th, 2017. To me, I don't find these things coincidence, right? That happens to be the resistance. There was a lot of support within here. There's a support, wick here. And that line coincides with this line right here. So if we were to kind of go sideways and then collapse again because of whatever reason, right, that would put us about 20,000. And that'd put us like October 11th. So, it could go up a little bit before that happens. But I think anything in this support line right here is going to just absolutely go nuts north. So could be a great area to set some limit buys, right, in case it wicks down, because it won't stay there very long, I don't think. If we do, I think that'll pop from there. So let's talk about, what is this one? Got two SPYs open. Let me close this one. ATA and what we're going to do today. All right, so we're going to set up our calls. We can actually do more contracts today. So as far as days, let's do a 3-day, and then we'll do 0.5 strike. We're going to start 9:45. That's fine. I'm okay with going a little later, maybe 3. We're not going to stop anything at the end of the day. We'll keep the TPAs there. We are going to keep the stop loss on this time at 0.25. 8:52. So this one would just be what time? What's the date today? Monday throw me off, 21st. So we'll keep that 9:30. Close trade on chart. Let's just double check. So call, SPY, taste trade. Strategy. I'm gonna start on the strategy with SARS until I can see the market open. So for those who don't know, the SARS is a little less aggressive. So we don't have an alert created, so we can create this. It looks like I need the webhook, so give me one moment. All right. So for those new to the channel, this is the automated trading portion that we're setting up. This is the copy trade. You can do this on your own as well. These indicators just go right on your chart. So we're going to also put SPY, parabolic SARS. We'll also do 3 days, 9:45 to 3. 5. And we do have the stop loss. 21, 9:30. Close trade on chart. Should be good. So we do have Live Trader out there now, guys. So I do want to spend a moment on that. That's why I'm okay setting this up quickly. So we do have our put, we have our call that we're gonna play. So we are set up on that. So let me. I think that might have been why I loaded the other one. Let me. I have all kinds of charts in here. Let's just create a new one. I'm gonna create a new one so y'all can follow this if you don't know how to do this on TradingView. So we're gonna create a new one because I want to separate the ATA copy trade stuff I do with that's not what I wanted to do with the Live Trader. So because Live Trader is really the only way I'm going to trade now. So Live Trader. I'm just going to name my chart. So I have that as Live Trader now. I do have it on the SPY. I don't want to do extended. I want to do regular because I'm doing Live Trader. And then the way you're going to do the Live Trader is it's a way for you to do automated tools, but it you set the ranges, right? So you do your TA, you just let it go, set it up, and go. I did have a few questions. I'm gonna add. I'll just leave this blank for now, but you would add your information right there. So I'm gonna set up a probably a call and a put area. So let's just do both. I'll add mine later. Okay, so what is Live Trader for those that are new to the channel? It's a way for you to add technology to your chart. You set your range, you set what you want to do, you set your contracts, so you can do total contract volume, you can do direction. We have added all kinds of these, so now you can do more. You don't have to just do SPY, you can actually do any of these pairs that are there. We do Tasty Trade. I'm going to set up, the contracts on there, so I'll probably do like 3-day contracts. Trading zone, I'm good with trading with that zone. I'm not going to stop anything at the end of the day. I'm just going to do my trading time frame, which is going to be today, 21st. And then because I don't trade right at that because we have the open hours, right? So you can, on Live Trader, I don't mind putting 9:30. Just make sure your time. So people ask this UTC, you want to make sure it has that it matches this UTC as well. So open price, this is the important part. So now we want to decide, where do we want to open it, right? And so what I want to do on this one is I want to just I've already done my other TA, right? But I can do a little bit on this chart. And so with Live Trader, you're playing more support and resistance, right? So we want to say, okay, we have that line there that we know. And we have this line here that we know. Now let's find a kind of a more localized support and resistance, right? So we know we're at 437.55. There's support at 437.66, and there's also support at 437.55. Just basing off of here. So let's scroll back a little bit, see which one's more significant. So the thing I like about, they both have their own unique significance, I guess. I'm gonna pull a lower one. Let's put it right about. I'm gonna put it like right about there, because I'm getting this resistance, this support, this resistance, a little bit of resistance right there, some support there, and then this created the higher low, which caused that big boom, right? So that's not a bad line to play. So now, where's our localized resistance, right? We don't want to go too far away. So I'm going to create something like right about here. And then let's create one more lower level of support. Because this is because our price is here, we're kind of in the middle of that range, right? So we can just go off of like right here. It's fine. That's a nice little spread. Okay, so now when we have our and you can also color code these, because all we're doing is support and resistance, right? So if it helps you out, a lot of times I'll do that, like lower, upper, middle, right? So now that I have that on my 5 minute, now I can go back into my 1 minute and see, okay, where are we at? Where's some more localized possible, right? So we have resistance here. Let's see. Yeah, so we have resistance there. So anything around, obviously the 434 would be a pretty good call. Now we might actually be able to take a call off of here somewhere, right? Because you have what was once resistance, plus you're in this pattern here. So I'm going to set up to take a call, 436.50. So if we get down to there, so let's go 436.50. We're only going to take one trade. And then we'll do, I'll just do like 5 contracts. My strike price, because we're doing a few days out, I don't mind doing a little higher. I'm not DCAing, and I'm good with the stop loss. I'm going to go a little higher on my stop loss, maybe 0.3. And that will be my trade. Okay. So what that means is, and I'll do a whole class, guys, on this. What that means is, once the market opens, here's what I just told it to do. Once the market opens, right, I can begin looking for trades, but only take a call if we break down below 436.50 and come back up in my favor. So if we just break down in this, potential, wedge channel that we got going on, then it won't take it, right? It'll just ignore it. So now we want to set, I always like to set my lower call and then my breakout call, right? Because you don't want to miss a breakout either. So I'm going to set another one. I'm going to set 5. We got our call, 3 days, same time frame I'm going to do, 2023, 8/21. Once I get these on the charts, it's easy to change because you don't have to add everything, the year and all that stuff in there. Hour, you just always want to just set market open because it doesn't matter if you do before because we're not monitoring before. Okay, so now we want to know, where do we want to capitalize a breakout, right? So we know that it's about right here roughly, right? So I don't like to be too aggressive on this because as you come up into here, right, you have lots of resistance. So I want this resistance or this support level here to become support again. So I want to kind of take it like somewhere up here, like 439.50, right, would be where I'd want to take my kind of run call. So 439.50 would be my run call that I want to do. So that means if it breaks that level, right, I want to capitalize on the run up north. So 0.3. So we have 5 contracts: call, SPY, taste trade, 3 days, touch. This is the time frame I'm trading. That's the candles, and then 439.5. So what that means now for my calls is if, right, we pull back down to this first one, which was 436.5, then we will take a call on the way back up. If we break this 439.5, right, so let's say that, we get a pump and it starts to run, right, like this, it will jump in on it because it's already going that way, right? So this one you want to have above the strong resistance level. You don't want to have that inside of it like this because you might come up like that and hop in and then drop it down, right? So that's my plays on the calls. And remember, you can add as many of these as you want. So we're going to add 2 more. And I'm going to do my puts. So I'm going to say 5. Now we're going to set up a put. I'm just setting up my range. And then once I'm done setting up my range, right, I don't have to touch it. And we just let it go. And either it hits or it doesn't. Yeah, this technology is amazing. It takes away the, biggest issue traders have, which is patience and discipline. Because you set your range, you trust your TA, and you walk away. All right, so when do we want to take a put? I'm okay with taking a put if we reject off of 449 and we pull back down. So I would say maybe 438.5 would be my first rejection style put. So 438.5. And I'm doing this on the call mostly to show you all how to set this up. Keep in mind, as the markets change, I may make adjustments, but most part I'm gonna just let that go. So so we got 5 put. I just double check everything looks good. 1 trade only. All right, and then I'll set the alerts after because I have to change the webhook again. Which is fine. I got time for that. So I got my 5, my puts. So this is again my continuation put. That's how I like 2021. Went back in the future. I like to trade when I do the live trader. I like to do it where I have a rejection point and I have a continuation point. That way, no matter where it goes, right, you don't miss out on it. Cringe. It's an interesting one-word choice. For the continuation put, again, I like to be more outside of this range. I don't really want to take it near this support either. So it's going to be a little lower. I'm going to say probably 433. 433. And then we're going to do the same thing, 0.5. Let's just double check. That all looks good. And remember, you're not doing strategies because you are the strategy on this. This is for people that have to go to work. You want to set your range, set up your charts, set up your alerts, and you just go to work. And we'll talk about how this did tomorrow. So, but that's it. So I'll go through and set these alerts later. I don't want to take too much time on the call because I'm 6 minutes over. So I appreciate you guys' time. I'm gonna drop off TikTok. I can stay on for a few minutes, but I'm gonna end the call here, and I will see you guys in the trading floor here today.